Is Radio Z and Matthew Reed here. Our Z verse tonight, we're in Psalm 77:11. Let me read this to you. It says, "But then I recall all you have done, O Lord. I remember your wonderful deeds of long ago. They are constantly in my thoughts." You know, that verse is the turning point in this chapter. I love Psalm 77. In the first 10 verses, it's all doom and gloom. He thinks God's not listening. He's overwhelmed. He's remembering the glory days. And the guy is like really bummed out. I mean, he's reminiscing, probably listening to sad songs on his little tape player or whatever. But he feels like God's abandoned him. And I think we've all felt that at one time in our lives or another. Listen to verse 4. He says, "You don't let me sleep. I'm too distressed to even pray." I think we've probably all been there before, too. So that's the first 10 verses. And then you notice a shift. In the last 10 verses, we see a different guy. And it all hinges on what happens in that verse, verse 11. When he's looking at his circumstances, he's on the downward spiral, And then Psalm 77:11, I'll read it again. He says, "But then I recall all you have done, Lord. I remember your wonderful deeds of long ago. They are constantly in my thoughts." See, he locks in on God. He shifts his focus. He stops obsessing about what's wrong in his life and starts thinking about the God who loves him and has been at work in our lives all along. He makes the choice to keep his eyes on God and not on the storm swirling around him. I think that's what we got to do in those situations too. Read that Psalm 77. I think you'll enjoy it and get something out of it.
I have loved you from